Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm Vashisht. I am a MBA 1 at Michigan Ross, and I'd used ApplicantLab to secure my admit. I had applied in the 2022-2023 cycle, and I secured my admit in December 2022. I came to the lab as a multi-time reapplicant, and I got into Ross after not securing interview invites in either of my past attempts. I was distraught, and I basically was lost in the woods. Applicant Lab, I'd come across Applicant Lab from multiple friends who recommended it thoroughly, and I could see why. There are three things which, according to me, help Applicant Lab stand out amongst all the other services that you get. The first one's the resume. The resume template is so good, and I think it's extremely underrated how important the resume is. The resume template that Maria had provided in the Applicant Lab is extremely comprehensive. I remember it was 3 pages, and it goes into great detail on the amount of things that you've got to put in, how you've got to write your bullets, and what you've got to not write in your resume. I could see a drastic improvement in my resume between the last two iterations and this one, and I think all of that is down to Applicant Lab. More importantly, it's given me a valuable skill on how to write resumes, and that's holding me in good stead in my job search right now. I feel I'm able to approach the resumes in a more comprehensive manner, and I've also been able to help people out with their resume reviews at Ross here. The second thing which I particularly enjoyed about Applicant Lab are the essay specific advices. The essay specific advice is possibly the one thing which most candidates would need the most help with. Because most schools are black boxes, and Maria breaks schools down, and the things that they're looking, and things different schools are looking really well. Three schools which I actually liked, which I found the advice in Applicant Lab to be brilliant, were Ross, were Duke, and were Stern. I leaned on them. I leaned on the lab heavily for these three schools, especially for Duke and Stern. The kinds of inputs that Maria has provided to approach the Pick 6 essay, the 25 things, and also the contribution essay was brilliant. I think I was able to frame a lot of my research based on the inputs Maria had provided, and it also informed a lot of the conversations I had. That was extremely helpful for me to understand how to put my essays across, and also what are some of the things that the school looks at. Moving on, the third thing where I used Applicant Lab a lot was during the interview process. The interview preparation module is so exhaustive that the approach which Maria shares is extremely good. It breaks down it's extremely efficient, and it saves time and allows us to ace the behaviorals really well. It's an approach that I've continued to use for my job and internship recruitment this year. So I'm basically using the same approach. I'm just refining it to suit what the job requirements are. So these are three things why I think Applicant Lab is super useful. More than that, I must say Maria is extremely responsive on emails. I had reached out to her on numerous occasions, asking her all kinds of questions and queries that I had, and I wanted to get them resolved ASAP. Maria was extremely prompt and has always helped me. So I cannot recommend the lab enough. And I think it would be possibly the best investment that you guys make. So I got into Ross. I got into Ross after multiple attempts, and I got in with a sizable scholarship, almost 65% of my fee. And I think I was able to do that only because of the lab. So to all of you guys, all the best in your application cycle. Can't recommend the lab enough. And if there's a choice between Ross and anything else, just come down to Ann Arbor. Go Blue.